All right, so this is Kenny Santos out of Toronto, Canada for KennySantos.com. Do you want to know how to become just better at prospecting? And I was discussing this concept with one of my coaching clients, and I really wanted to share it with my YouTube subscribers and my email subscribers because it's a very important. It's something that really it's kind of talked about, but it hasn't been talked about in this way. And it's important that you get this concept because once you get this, your prospecting will become a lot more effective and, quite frankly, a lot more enjoyable. And you're going to start getting results that you're looking for. And so, before I get into the content, if you're getting value from my blog, my content, my videos, my audios, all that fun stuff, I invite you to do something super easy and super simple. I invite you to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Again, it's a super easy way and it's a simple way for you to support my blog and to do so for free. So, how do you become better at prospecting? And what I find many network marketers doing is they have a hard time getting started. They know what they need to do because they're attending trainings, or hopefully they're attending trainings, or at least nowadays they don't even have to attend trainings. Like back when I started, we would get trained on like a Saturday, like at a Super Saturday event. We'd go to like some sort of lecture hall or even a hotel room, one of those places, and we get trained. It was called a Super Saturday event. Now those Super Saturday events have moved on to like Zoom, and they're not necessarily on Saturdays, but you could do it from home. And some of them are just recorded, and sometimes they're referred to like kind of like in your back office. So, when you log in, with your network marketing company, there's already some training there. So you're getting some training, and you actually know what to do to get started. But the problem is that many network marketers, I would say most, probably 90%, 95%, they never really get started because they feel like they need to finish their training before they get started. And that simply isn't the case. And so what I invite you to do instead is like think of your prospecting. And actually this goes for your presenting, your closing, all of this stuff. Think of them in two phases. There's phase one and there's phase two. And sometimes people skip to phase two, and this is why they don't get the results they're looking for. And so phase one is important. And the whole goal of phase one is to get to phase two as fast as possible, but not by skipping phase one. All right. You got to do phase one first. And so phase one is getting started and doing it consistently. And a lot of people, myself included, when I first got started, my goodness, we're going on almost 20 years now. I started in 2003, it's 2022. And so when I first got started in this profession, I really felt like I needed to know the best sales technique before I got started. I really needed to know how to answer all of my prospects' questions. Like I didn't even know what their questions were, but I thought to myself, well, what if they ask about the comp plan? What if they ask about how this product works? What if they ask about the company? What if they ask about the CEO? And I felt like I needed to have all those questions memorized and all the not the questions memorized, but the answers to those questions memorized at the tip of my tongue so that I could look like a better salesperson and I could be more effective. And honestly, that simply isn't the case. First of all, if you've been watching any of my trainings or anyone else's trainings, you're going to realize that it's always best not to even answer your prospects' questions yourself. I mean, certainly get them answers, but it's a lot more duplicatable. It's a lot easier on you if you use company tools and if you use things outside of you to answer your prospects' questions because it seems a lot more duplicatable and it seems a lot more doable to your prospect. They just think, oh, all Kenny did was point me to this website after every time I asked him a certain question, I can do that. Versus what I used to do, I used to memorize everything, and then whenever they asked me a question, I would just kind of be able to answer it. And I know that many of my prospects didn't join simply because they didn't think they would be as good as I was. So try and dumb it down a little bit and just get started and use the company tools. And phase one, once again, is just get started and start doing it consistently and see what kind of results you're getting. Even if the results are no results, that's okay. At least you're getting started and doing it consistently. And then once you do that, all right, then you can move to phase two. And phase two is seeing the results you're getting and, if necessary, optimizing those results or optimizing your techniques to get better results. And oftentimes I see people, they need to know the newest sales technique. They need to know the newest closing technique. They need to know the newest psychology on things before they get started. And It's tough to improve on something if you haven't gotten started yet. Okay. It's important that you get started. And even if you're terrible at it, at least we know what you're doing and what you're doing wrong. Even if it's everything, we can say, okay, Kenny, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to improve on this. Listen to your intonation. You need to be asking your closing question, all these different things. However, if you haven't even prospected or you've only prospected a little bit, it is going to be difficult for you to optimize that. And so again, one, just get started, do it consistently, and that's just to see the results that you're getting with what you have now. Do the best you can with what you have now, and then you can start optimizing and you can recognize where you need to work. And one of the best things you could do is record yourself or have someone listen in on when you're prospecting so that they can give you their opinion, especially if this is like a mentor. And so, while you want to be able to do it perfectly at first, you can't. All right. In order for you to become perfect, you must do it imperfectly first and fix upon those mistakes. And so many people, like I said, myself included, I would want to, read Zig Ziglar's next book before I started getting prospecting again. And then I would want to read another book by like Grant Cardone or some other sales trainer. And you know what? I can keep reading because man, there's so many sales books out there. If I chose to, I can keep reading and never get any prospecting done. And the guy who's maybe read one book and just put that into action would be getting better results than I am because I'm not doing any action. All right. And so it's important that you take that action, do those income producing activities, those money making activities. And for the first thing, it is prospecting. It is going out there, doing it long enough so you can make those adjustments and moving forward. So phase two is that optimization. And like I said, a lot of people, they try and optimize before they even get started. They don't have anything to optimize. They don't have, maybe they've called 10 people and that's it, and they're trying to figure out what they need to be doing. It's important that you just keep calling, or doing those reach outs and finding out what you're screwing up. And then once you find that, right, and this is all based on data, all right, or data, depending on the country you're coming from. You make changes and you optimize based on the data you're getting back, not on how you feel when you're doing it. And so if you are able to close 3 out of 10 people, and by the way, that is superstar status if you close 3 out of 10 people, all right? And then you feel like, say to yourself, well, I don't think it's going that well. I don't think like the things, that I'm saying. I think I should change it up. If you were getting those results, or let me say this, if one of my coaching clients was getting results like that and told me they want to change it because how they feel, I would stop them dead in their tracks and say, you know what you're doing is absolutely perfect. Do not change it. So this is not about how you feel. This is simply about the data that you're getting back. On the same token, if I had a client and he was getting only 1 out of 100 to buy, but he's feeling really good about it, I would talk to that client and I would say, listen, Bob or Joe or Julie, I say, listen, you know what? I know that you like the way you're prospecting now, but if you want better results, we're going to have to change what you're doing. Okay. And so it's not about how you feel. It's all about the results and the data you get back. But you can only get that data if you start, and you can only get that data if you keep doing it consistently. All right. Optimization, or optimizing how well you prospect, if you try to do that before, you're not going to get anywhere, because optimization is like putting a magnifying glass. It's like magnifying those results. And if you have nothing to magnify, you still have zero. At least if you start and you only get 1 out of 100 or 1 out of 1,000, and we start optimizing that, if we multiply that, and let's say we teach you how to become 10 times better or 100 times better, even if it's just one, my gosh, right? If you get 1 out of 100, you're getting 10 times better, then you're getting 1 out of 10, and that is respectable. All right. If you're getting 1 out of 1,000, we teach you how to get 10 times better. At least you're at least getting 1 out of 100. Or if we teach you how to becoming 100 times better, you're getting 1 out of 10, or whatever the numbers are. It doesn't really matter. What matters is this. What matters is that you get started, that you do it consistently, so you see the results you get, and then do the optimization. All right. And some of you are still thinking, but I need to learn the newest thing. You don't need to learn the newest thing. All you need to learn is your prospecting question and start asking it, and then you got to be human afterwards. Act like a human. You don't need to have these canned responses. And again, one of my favorite prospecting questions is simple, right? It's, are you at all open to creating any income outside of whatever their profession is. So if I call a realtor or I reach out to a realtor, hey, hey Molly, you know what? I got your name off of the house that you have for sale on 123 Maple Street. I'm a I'm a business owner in the area. I'm expanding my team, and I just got a quick question for you. Would you be at all open to creating any income outside of being a realtor? And that is it. See if they're open. I am not here to convince or sell someone into my business. I'm here to sort. And the ones that are open, they get taken through the prospecting process or the sales process. The ones that aren't, they don't, right? And I have no hard feelings about that. And I have my coaching clients that do that, even if they feel like they don't have talent, even if they don't feel like they've read enough sales books, even if they don't feel like they've looked at enough training, if they do that on a consistent basis, they get better results than the person who isn't doing that, but they feel like they need to learn the newest technique, or they need to learn more about the company, the CEO, the product, the complaint, all this other stuff that ultimately you don't need to know right away. Right? Those are nice to know things, but they're not need to know types of things. So you want to get better at prospecting. Think of it in two phases. One is phase one, get started, do it consistently, find those results. And then phase two, you get to optimize. You get to figure out what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right, and kind of focus in your energy that way. So I trust you got some great value out of this. Again, I invite you to like, subscribe, share, comment. It is a super easy way, and it's a simple way for you to support my blog and do so for free. And remember this, every day, multiple times a day, the universe sends us miracles. We only got to do two things about that. We got to recognize those miracles. And then, of course, my favorite part, we get to accept those miracles. All right, take care and create a great day.